the Schulte Sweeties YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 11, 7, and 5. And this is our 6th year homeschooling. We're right in the middle of it. So this is a collaboration today with Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool and Davene at Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. And I will link their channels down below as well as the playlist for the other moms that are joining in on this collaboration to share about the mid-year reflections of what went well last semester and just maybe some changes that are happening this next semester. So I'll just jump right into it. My oldest, who is 11, she's in 6th grade. Not a lot is changing, but something major is changing. So we have been using, and I'll link below or above, what we started out with for the school year. We had a big plan, and it wasn't a really bad plan necessarily, but she has been using Right Shop for almost a year. We kind of almost finished up the Right Shop. I think it was level E. And I also have a video of Right Shop and how I encourage you to use it and to dive right into it when it's kind of daunting because there's lots of reading in the teacher's manual. But we have really enjoyed it. But as we have gone on, I don't know if it was like lack of motivation or what exactly, but we just needed a change. Something more to challenge her, not just in her writing, but like the mechanics of writing. I had a Spectrum book of writing that I had bought for her and I considered putting it, but I just hated to add something more as she was already doing a writing curriculum, because Right Shop doesn't teach a lot of the mechanics. Like they teach some, but it wasn't in depth. And so I was thinking about that, and then we've kind of gone back and forth with grammar. We also really love Beowulf grammar, and she has enjoyed it, but there has also been a lot of parts where she didn't really like it as much because it's kind of like there was some cutting and pasting and things like that, and maybe it was a little bit childish for her as she's going into middle school and her more maturity, I guess, is what I want to say. And so I have also been using, besides Beowulf grammar, we were using daily grams. I had just kind of on a whim, because I had thought about buying Fix-It Grammar, and on a whim, I had decided not to get Fix-It Grammar, and I purchased daily grams. And she at first didn't really enjoy it because while it wasn't very much a day, it was just like 1 page a day, there were some things that were pretty challenging for her. But as she's gotten used to it and done it on a regular basis, she has kind of enjoyed it a little bit more. But there was still like the grammar, she wasn't really, it wasn't teaching her new concept. It was just kind of introducing them because we weren't doing the actual easy grammar curriculum. So I was like, we need something probably better for grammar. I did end up purchasing Fix-It Grammar, but we just never started it because I was like, I don't know. We just didn't know what we were wanting to do. And so as I was doing some research, I was kind of leaning towards like IEW. A lot of people use the Institute in writing. I just kind of kept not feeling comfortable with it because I knew the videos were long each week, and then a lot of like the writing from what I've seen on videos, you can correct me if I am totally off place, but like they didn't seem like she would get to use all of her creativity when she was writing. She is very creative, she loves writing, so she likes to write some stories and things, and I don't want her to lose that love of writing. So I was kind of like, I don't know if we wanted to start structure and style. I knew she would get the mechanics though. But as I was doing some other research, other people were suggesting to try Essentials in Writing, EIW. I always get confused with all the letters. So that also includes, that has grammar, and it also includes the writing. So it has the mechanics, and the videos, from what I know, are like 5 to 7 minutes a day, I think, possibly. So they're broken up, and from what I can see, it's a lot of people have good reviews on it. So I think we are going to try that. I think from what I've figured out that they have like a shortened time span schedule that you can do for like if you just wanted to try to complete it in a semester. So I think it's about 18 weeks, and that is what my goal is, that we can maybe complete level 6 in this next semester, but I'm not going to push it. So we're not ones that have to finish a curriculum before summer, which we don't even take a big summer break usually. So if we don't finish it, we'll just pick it up next semester, as long as it's going well for us into the fall, I guess. And then if that goes well, my hope is that in 7th grade, I saw that they have an essentials in language arts, or so in reading. So they have like a reading portion, a literature portion, I guess essentials in literature. That's it. Essentials in literature. And so I think that would be what I would add on for her in 7th grade. So what we've been trying to do for literature this semester is some literary units, and we have picked a few books. That hasn't gone as smoothly as I expected. Our first book was Out of My Mind, and I read it as well separately. So she was reading it. I do let her use audiobooks if she wants to. I usually try to buy the novel as well. So she can go back, especially if she's doing some assignments, she can go back and look at that, but I let her do audiobooks. I love audiobooks. So, but like I had like a little novel unit. It was a generic one, and I had her fill out a few pages, but it just didn't work out so smoothly. And then our next book we started in November, I think, which was probably not the best time to start it. I thought, well, we could finish this before the semester, but we did not. The holidays and everything else got busy, and we never finished it, and our school days were looking a little different. So that is what we are going to hopefully finish in January. We have a literary unit, which I'm going to do a flip through for it some in the future here. But it wasn't it isn't our favorite literary unit, I don't think. But we are reading Number the Stars. So, and it's funny because I had her stop at certain chapters to like work on the unit a little bit, fill in some papers and answer some questions, and she really just wanted to keep reading. So she's a lot further than I am on the book, and so I need to catch up. So that is another goal that we'll have. Her spelling, we're still using 180 days spelling and vocabulary. It's going okay. It's not necessarily her favorite. There's some pages that are harder than others. But I think it's pretty challenging for her. Even she's in a grade 5 one because the words were actually pretty hard. And then it also does like, prefixes, suffixes, and different things. So it's not just a list of spelling words that she's practicing every day. It's a lot of different activities. So I appreciate that it is different and includes the vocabulary aspects on there. Next year we might anticipate like maybe not doing the spelling. I feel like her spelling is pretty adequate now. I kind of just clicked like about a year or so ago, it kind of clicked with her, and she's doing really well with it. Might be just because she's really reading a lot more as well. So we might switch to just a vocabulary curriculum instead of spelling and vocabulary. And then cursive, she is just going right along. She's writing down the states and the capitals each day in cursive. And that's going well. That's from Nifty 50 States, I think is what it's called. I don't know. I can't remember who it was from. And then typing, we switched this last semester to the Good and the Beautiful typing instead of doing one of the free online curriculum with typing.com or typingclub.com. We have tried, I think, everything. But this one is just very easy. It's a book and it sits right in front of her and she does the typing and then she's done. And it doesn't make beeping noises at her if she misses it. And I think that is the biggest thing. It was just really hard for her to get past when she made a mistake, like the beeping noise, and she was just always frustrated with it. So that is going really well. And then as far as like we do history with her. I read History Quest with her. We read usually both of the chapters, like the history hop and everything together. We do it 2 times a week. Sometimes we do the activities. Sometimes we just kind of talk about it. And then she also does 180 days of the social studies, and that really is going okay. All of my girls are doing that. I have a flip through of 180 days of social studies that you can look at, but it's not really that exciting, but they're able to do the pages within just a few minutes. And I usually typically make them do a couple pages, 2 to 3 pages a day. But not every day. It's not the most entertaining. It's like usually a paragraph of reading, and then you kind of answer the questions, maybe some activities. It's not overly exciting, but it works. And with the program that we're in for our state, we have some learning goals that we have to do, and this meets the need. Usually I'm able to get a few pages of their work and put it in for our learning goals, and it meets the criteria. So I have no complaints, really. They might have more complaints about that. And her math, she is doing well. She has, I would say, I don't know, she's a level behind her grade. So she is in level 5, and she's doing well with it, moving right along. I think she really enjoys this math. We use the good and the beautiful, and she was able to move from 4 to 5, and we're just moving on. So as far as my middle, so she is 7 and in 2nd grade. She's doing all about reading, level 3, and maybe a little bit slower this semester because the stories are more challenging, so we take a little bit longer reading those. But we are going to move on to level 4. I anticipate this semester we will be moving on. So like for her, we're not really switching anything. She's just moving on. She's continuing with math. She's halfway through her level 2 math already for the good and the beautiful. I know she'll just finish it probably this semester. She's really does good at math, and she really doesn't have much to complain complaints about that. For grammar, I started introducing her to grammar and spelling this year. So we have gotten a program called Rabbit Trails Homeschool, and it's rabbit trails through literature, and we are doing that. And so her and her younger sister, we will read a little story, and it introduces a grammar concept. And then I have a few different types of workbooks laying around that are like from Scholastic and Evermore. They just have like more information about the grammar concept. So I usually typically make her do a couple of those pages with that concept. It's not really too difficult, and she said she enjoys it. I was like, do you want to do something different? And she's like, no, I really like this. And they like the Rabbit Trails Homeschool. It usually includes a craft or a hands-on project, and they love that. So both of them are very crafty, so they really like that. And spelling, we've just been doing Evan Moore daily spelling skills, building daily spelling skills. I don't know what it's called. And that's okay. I have noticed a lot in the last week or two with not doing school. When she's writing, she's constantly misspelling words, but I'm not too concerned about it. She's in 2nd grade. That was pretty typical for my oldest as well. In 2nd grade, she was not spelling well. So I don't really have too much problem with that. It'll come. We haven't gotten too far into the spelling curriculum either. Like the words are still pretty easy. So I think once they get a little bit more challenging, it'll be helpful more. As far as handwriting, she is still doing a reason for handwriting, and she's almost done with it. She likes writing the little Bible spelling or the Bible verses at the end of each lesson, and she gives it to my mom as a little encouragement. And my mom has a little book, and she can go through and read the Bible verses in a future on any day. So one thing that my middle wrote down on her little New Year's resolution page was that she wanted to learn how to write in cursive. So I'm not sure if she's quite ready for cursive yet. Her handwriting is getting better, but it's still got some room to grow. So I'm not sure if we will move on to just the next level in a reason for handwriting. She's currently just an A. So I'm not sure if we will move on to B, or if I think there's a transition level. So I'm going to look into that maybe she could work on her print and her starting cursive this semester. So we'll see. And then as far as reading for her, besides All About Reading, I want to encourage her more to read. I did last semester have the idea to challenge her to read 100 books. We've lost the paper. She was very excited about it at first. Kind of with all the craziness of holidays, we've lost it. So I might have a fresh paper for her starting this week. But one thing I did realize with her is she is an animal lover. I knew this since basically she was 1 year old. So she has loved animals, and she has aspirations to become a veterinarian in the future. And so what I've realized, while I do get her some easy chapter books and things that are usually about animals, but they're, cute little chapter books, those aren't her favorite. Her favorite books are nonfiction books about animals. And it took a little bit of time for me to I need to just get that for her. And so that was one of my goals for Christmas presents. I wanted her to have some extra nonfiction books that she could read and enjoy. So she got one that was about predators, which predator would win or something. She's read it more with my husband than me, but she has really enjoyed that. There was a thicker book just all about pictures and different little tidbits about animals. So she has enjoyed that. So I'm excited to kind of foster that this semester more. I know that Campfire Curriculum has a zoologist little unit, so that might be something that we might work on this semester as well. We did the veterinarian unit last spring, so I think we might switch to that one. She was able to do a zoo class last year. I'm not sure if we will do another zoo class this year or not. It takes 45 minutes to get to our zoo, and it makes for a long day if we do that, but I know she really enjoyed that as well. Then moving on to my youngest, she is finishing up her kindergarten prep. She went from the preschool, this is all the good and the beautiful. So she went from their preschool. We got the newer version of it, and that worked really well. She started that actually after we finished All About Reading pre-reading. So we've done All About Reading pre-reading, preschool, and then she is on K-Prep. So now I'm just what do we do? She's probably 15 lessons at the most away from finishing that. So I have several options, and I'm still kind of just figuring out where she needs to fit in. Her older sister, I taught her to read with All About Reading. So I do have All About Reading level 1. I could start with her, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the best fit for her or not. She's responded pretty well with the Good and the Beautiful. So I might print off the Good and the Beautiful level K, since that is free online, and see how that goes with the level K. I didn't really love the previous version of level K of the Good and the Beautiful, so I didn't do that with my middle daughter. I just felt like I wanted to do All About Reading, but I know that they're focusing more on the phonics side. And so from what I've seen from the Good and the Beautiful level K, I really like it. Let me know if you are using it and if it's going well or not well. That would be great. And along with that, she has been using critical thinking, a beginner math, and done really great with it. It's probably too easy. She's just getting her math. So I am going to go ahead and switch her to the Good and the Beautiful Math K. I know she's in kindergarten, and I know that's well, of course she should go in that level. She is a young kindergartner. Her birthday's in July, late July. So I wanted to kind of just take it easy with her. And she is in also the program that her older sisters are in for our state. And so I started her with that, partly because one of the things that we are able to utilize with this program is speech. And she's got some speech issues, I guess. Not really a delay, but just she doesn't pronounce every letter correctly. So we are working through that. And so we did start kindergarten with her, but I'm taking it slow, and we may even repeat kindergarten or go more at her pace. Reading especially, she she's doing better, and it took her a while to identify the letters, but she's doing a lot better. But it's kind of just going slower than her older sister did, which is totally fine. Her sister her birthday's in April, and it's a little bit different. Like, she's not in the same place as her sister was, and she's not the same person. And every child learns differently, and so I'm taking it how we need to take it. So, I think she's doing great. Moving on, she's doing well with it. Another thing with her, we are moving on. I think I didn't really love the Doodles, the Good and the Beautiful Doodles handwriting, but we've been using it somewhat. So I am going to try to move on to the handwriting without tears, and this is the letters and numbers for me. So we're going to try to do this. I do have, for some reason, people were saying, like, get the, this is a used version, obviously, get the teacher manual. So I'm going to go through that and start working on that with her. She knows how to write most letters, but she doesn't hold her pencil right on purpose unless I show her once again, hold your pencil like this. So I know her hands are little and things, so I'm not really pushing it a lot, but I know she wants to write. She's constantly writing, but she's holding her pencil like this. And so that's gonna be, so my options for phonics, I forgot to say this. All About Reading, level 1, we have that. The Good and the Beautiful, level K, and then also Dash into Learning. I found a pretty good deal where it was like half price used, and so I bought that. So she wasn't very motivated when I showed her it. I was like all excited, but we just might use those as extra readers as well. So those are things. I forgot to mention this with my second grader, with her having extra workbooks. I found this at Ollie's last spring, and I forgot I even had it, but this has tons of workbook pages for it's like social studies and math and science and language arts. So this is where I've gotten some of the language arts things. But if you find these, get ready for school, like any of the grades, and you just need some extra pages, like to kind of keep them busy or to reinforce some subjects. This is a really great, this was only $5. So another thing that I am thinking of adding in this semester for my middle and my youngest is like a lap book history type curriculum, probably Evan Moore. I have some of them already, I think. So I've learned that with using our geography that my middle especially loves lap book learning, hands-on. She is a crafter as well, so she just loves that. So I think that will be like the perfect fit for her. We also include 180 days social studies, which doesn't include a lot of history, and like storybooks and stuff, but I think this will be a great addition and squeezing it in, not every day, but just here every little bit. So as far as our family subjects, not a lot is changing, but there is a little bit that we're adding in. So we are going to keep our morning menus. I will continue to post here and there of like if there's some major switches in our morning menu, but the girls love it. We do it weekly. We don't do it every day. Usually switch it out about once a month to find a new song or something else, some new activities. We really have been enjoying those, and my girls all ask to do it, and especially if we like miss the day that we're supposed to do it, we try to do it morning menu Mondays, but that doesn't always work out, and they will ask me for it. So we're gonna keep that. And then let's see, our morning time, we at breakfast, I will read like a devotional from Indescribable, or the next one is How Great Is Our God, or something like that. So we do that, and I want to add in this a little bit more. We got this around Black Friday. It's Storyteller's Word a Day. There was a pretty good deal on this, and I thought it was kind of fun. It has the word right here and a fun little picture, the information about it, the definition, and then on the back it's like a page where it has like just a little bit more about it and like how often it's used in stories. And just kind of gives it sentences, like some synonyms and different things. So it's kind of a fun thing. This says it's for 3rd through 5th grade, but we're just using it as a family on a daily basis. And then In the evenings is when we usually do our read alouds. Right before bed, they get a snack and I read to them, but it's not going the best because sometimes maybe my oldest isn't home or one of them are spending the night somewhere else, and so we miss a night. And then also like my kids also like ask a question or need something during that time, and so it's interrupted often, and like sometimes I can't get through just like 2 pages. So I'm hoping to add some read aloud time in the afternoons to spend just like even if it was like 15 minutes to half an hour to read like a chapter or something, to get through some of our read alouds a little more, because I have some other ones that I want to get to, but we don't get to them very often. And that was what I struggled with. Like, we have a book club with some of our friends, and like we try to pick a book that meets a lot of grade levels where their interest is, which is very hard since I have a kindergarten all the way up to a 6th grader. It's hard to get them on the same page on stories. But we were like the slowest ones because it's really hard for us to get through a book. So hoping that it'll be better and we'll figure out a way to get it so we can finish more books. Another thing is that we are keeping Geography Junior and Actions and Reactions from Guest Hollow. We are loving them, and I do a little bit extra prep work each like weekend to prepare for the next week with those 2 subjects, but it doesn't really take me very much time, and it gets me more excited for those lessons as well. If you are interested in checking those out, I have a video previously on Geography Junior and how we use it, and then an Actions and Reactions video will be coming out very soon, as well as they are doing a sale mid-January. So keep an eye out for that, because that is when their like Black Friday sale is, because they want to like give your wallets a little bit of a break from Christmas and Black Friday and stuff. Give you a few weeks off, and then if you want to make some purchases for this semester with Guest Hollow, that is a great time to do it. We have been doing Woven Melodies and from Thistles and Biscuits and 9 Profiles in Art from Blossom and Root, but we have not done them very well. Our schedules got hectic and busy, and I had been scheduling them on Tuesdays, but we have piano lessons in the morning, and then Tuesdays, sometimes I volunteer, or my youngest is at story time. So we're gonna try to rework that into our schedule a little bit more. I do like both of them. It's just, I need to figure out where we can put them in. And then the last thing is we are gonna add back in French. My girls have loved French, and we were using Homeschool Languages previously, and I had mentioned in another video that we were probably never going to go use them again. But I should probably just eat my words, but we are kind of going back to them. I don't know if the curriculum itself was just like too like fast paced for me. It's for little kids, so I don't know. And I should be more familiar with French because I took it for 2 years in high school. I didn't do the best in it though. But I just wasn't comfortable with moving on. It just felt like I wasn't comfortable with what we were already learning, and then they were like, we were supposed to move on, and I wasn't always ready to. I know we could have slowed down, but it just felt like I don't know. I was just like having a hard time with it. So what we are doing is actually from Homeschool Languages, but it's they have different units each month. They still recommend the curriculum, and we might go back to it. Maybe we'll start over with it. I need to relook at that. But this is one of their units, and they had a good deal right around Black Friday where the units were like $5 a piece. And these can last about a month. They have 4 weeks worth of lessons, and they have all sorts of subjects. There's like family and home, and I think car trips. I don't know. There's like airplane. I don't know. There's all sorts of them. But, and they actually have a monthly subscription as well. And I think you get a little bit of a discount if you signed up for that, but I didn't sign up for that. I just wanted to try them out to make sure that we could do them. But I did get several just in case we do like them. This one is Let's Play a Game. And it basically is like you're playing games with your kids and using French. They have the phrases like, whose turn is it? You go first, try again. They are playing these games are Memory, and then Tic-Tac-Toe, Go Fish, and then Uno, which you use your own Uno cards, but then some of the other, like they have game pieces as well included with the unit. So I have to print those off as well. But so we are attempting this. We did get Simple Languages from it was Simple Languages, but it was French from Simple Languages. And I like the concept of it, but I just like, we did the first unit and we kind of went through it, but then I just didn't know where to go with that after that. Like if I needed to get them to like master those, which I don't think that is, because it's like Charlotte Mason, but you just like kind of introduce and like go through it several times. But I just didn't feel like, we aren't really Charlotte Mason. We are kind of eclectic, and I don't always lean towards Charlotte Mason ways. So I was like, I just don't think this is for us. We might get that back out here. I'm not saying I'm not going to use it again, because that will come back to haunt me if I say that. So we might use it again, and maybe we'll pick up the actual curriculum of Homeschool Languages again to use. But for now, we are going to just try this and do it slowly. And then I am also working on Duolingo for myself for French, and trying to get more familiar with it so I can pass it on to teaching my kids French, because they are so excited for it. So I think that is about it for our 2022 reflection and what we're kind of switching up. We have some switches coming here this semester, but I'm excited, and I think this will be a fun semester. And I feel like we have a good routine down for the most part. We might have to make some tweaks to our schedule, but I'm excited for another semester of homeschooling. Let me know if you're changing anything in your homeschool or how your last semester went. Don't forget to check out Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool and Davene at Common the Chaos Homeschool, and as well as the playlist down below for other moms and how last semester went and their reflections. Thanks.